Toyota dealer with a new Toyota, but it all ends June 2nd. Dealer inventory may vary. Taking Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places. Huh?
Welcome back to That's Genius, where we meet the minds behind mind-blowing inventions. I'm here with Aaron from California Deluxe Windows. They offer swing to clean windows. Sounds genius. Aaron, enlighten us.
California Deluxe Windows. Swing to clean windows slide open like regular windows, and swing open so you can clean the outside, the inside.
Clever wordplay. Clean the outside, Gunga.
We also custom fit every window and door to your home's exact measurement. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips. We wouldn't crack one.
Custom fit, no broken stucco, potato chips. Now that's genius! Right now, get 30% off your entire order of custom fit windows. Genius! Call California Deluxe Windows. 800-928-4100. 800-928-4100. That's 800-928-4100. Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plans. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
From the downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Good morning, it's 8:30. I'm Elsa Ramon. The person of interest in the Palm Springs terrorist attack is dead. He died in the explosion outside a fertility clinic and has been identified as 25-year-old Guy Edward Bartkett, a resident of 29 Palms. Reuters reports that he left a manifesto and stated in online posts that he was morally opposed to IVF treatment and considered it deeply offensive. Bartkett also left an audio recording stating no one asked for his own existence. The car bomb used was a large improvised explosive device, and the blast was felt up to 2 miles away. Akil Davis is the assistant director in charge of the FBI in Los Angeles.
This is an intentional act of terrorism. This is probably one of the largest bombing investigations that we've had in Southern California. It's on the scale of the Aliso Viejo bombing in Orange County.
The Aliso Viejo bombing he's referring to happened in 2018. That's when a Long Beach man who owned a day spa planted a homemade bomb at the spa that killed his ex-girlfriend and permanently injured 2 others. Dr. Meher Abdallah is the owner and director of the fertility center targeted in the Palm Springs explosion.
My biggest concern was obviously my staff and, the embryos that we have in storage. Fortunately for us, our staff is unharmed, and the IVF lab is intact, untouched, unharmed, so the embryos are safe.
The suspect who died in the explosion also attempted to record video or live stream the attack. Officials are expected to release more information at a 10 a.m. news conference. We are standing by, and of course, KNX News will broadcast it live. Fireworks are fun, but every night, people living in Santa Clarita are sick of it. They say they've been hearing fireworks explode behind their homes for years, and they're worried it could spark a much more serious issue like a wildfire. James Kilton spoke to the city council at their latest meeting, expressing his fear.
And I'm not talking about smoke bombs and piccolo peaks. I'm talking about mortars that are launched off at 1 a.m. The explosions are loud enough to wake every household in the community.
His neighbor, Lily Chang, has captured nearly 100 times instances of people setting off fireworks on her security camera.
Between 5 to 20 at a time, and then they will just come to the park. I mean, we seen them during the daytime,
Teachers called attention this weekend to efforts by the Trump administration to cut federal funding to education. Here's Larry Farrell.
It was a protest for thousands turned out as part of a broader statewide day of action led by California Teachers Association in several cities in California. Teachers from dozens of unions, families, and students among those outside SpaceX at Hawthorne demanding an end to federal budget cuts and threats to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education. They contend the Trump administration and Elon Musk's Doge are looking to gut federal funding for education, take away vital services for some 800,000 students with disabilities, and pass those savings in the form of tax breaks to billionaires. Officials say the protest also serves as a message to local leaders of districts like LAUSD to resist any attempts to use federal austerity as an excuse to underpay teachers or underfund classrooms. I'm Larry Farrell, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
2 people are dead after a boat crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. Mayor Eric Adams says at least 19 people aboard the ship needed medical treatment. We get more from CBS News correspondent Matt Piper.
Social media videos show masts of a sailboat hitting the bridge as it was driving under. People on those masts as it hit. The Mexican Navy said it was part of its fleet. It was a training ship undertaking a maneuver in the East River. Believed it was heading to Iceland, scheduled to arrive there next month.
The cause of the collision is under investigation. Hospitals and medics in the Gaza Strip say Israeli strikes across the Palestinian enclave killed at least 103 people. The fighting also forced the main hospital in northern Gaza to close. Hospitals and medics said women and children were among those killed in the strikes overnight and into today. Bloodshed came as Israel escalates its war in Gaza, which it says is meant to ramp up pressure on the militant Hamas group to agree to a temporary ceasefire on its terms and release the rest of the hostages. The Israeli military had no immediate comment on the overnight strikes, while negotiations for a ceasefire were ongoing. There still appears to be no end in sight to the 19-month-long war. 8:35, here's Sabina Mora with traffic.
All right, Elsa, going to go to the 405 freeway. I was getting calls about the Venice Boulevard closure. Yes, there is a closure west of the 405 freeway. East and westbound Venice Boulevard between the 405 and Lincoln is still shut down. It's the Venice Beach Half Marathon going on today. So portions of Pacific Rose, Abbot Kinney will also be affected in the Venice area. So using Washington or even National, staying away from Venice unless you're part of the festivities is a good idea there. On the 405, if you're headed north, to the 105, you should be in good shape, and I don't see a lot happening on the 105 westbound, leaving Linwood over to Sepulveda, but wow, the airport is busy. The upper loop is crowded. Lower loop is going to be the way to go, definitely not as slow. You can just take the escalators on the inside of the building. Let's go east on the 91, and this is Kelsmithsworth. So it looks like lanes are still being blocked off, the fast track lanes on the eastbound side of the 91, leaving the 55, but there's also moving closure from the 241 to the 71, so a little bit of patchy slowing here and there into Corona. I don't see any other problems as far as crashes if you're trying to get to Riverside on the eastbound side of the 91, but there's metal debris on the westbound side of the 91 in Riverside. This is before you get to Central, so I do see the brake lights from University on the freeway itself. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5, from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
LA and Orange County metro areas are going to start out cloudy. It should be burning off by now. Going to end up sunny, highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s. Tonight we're going to see temperatures lows in the mid-50s for the valleys today. A little bit warmer, highs in the lower to mid-70s. Tonight going to see those temperatures in the lower to mid-50s as well. The beaches today, upper 60s to low 70s at the beaches, and upper 70s farther inland today. Right now, Saugus is 55, Fullerton is 63, and it's 61 along the Miracle Mile at 8:37.
Tune in to Right on the Money with Tom Mosley.
In retirement, it's your income that's most important, not necessarily your lump sum.
Tune in to Right on the Money with Tom Mosley. Saturdays at 8 a.m. on AM 1070.
If you're a house painter, you're not going to like what I have to say, but homeowners everywhere need to hear it. Hi, I'm Steve, creator of Deluxe Life Coat.
Sick of shelling out big bucks to have your house painted only for it to fade in a few years? That's why I developed Deluxe Life Coat, a permanent solution to repainting. It's 20 times thicker, so it makes traditional house paint look like watercolors. After one application of Deluxe Life Coat, you'll probably never have to see us again, because it's guaranteed to last as long as you own your home. Deluxe Life Coat saves you thousands in maintenance costs and can even reduce your energy bill. Plus, we have the best lifetime warranty in the industry that covers flaking, peeling, and yes, even cracking. What paint can say that?
Call now to get 20% off your order, plus no interest for 2 years. Call 800-914-2800. 800-914-2800. That's 800-914-2800. Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 1052855.
We've all experienced it. The blazing hills, the dark clouds, the fumes. Were you required to work despite the poor air quality? Whether you're a laborer, a driver, a first responder, or even working in an office with poor ventilation, that dark cloud filled the air with toxins. If you've had asthma, eye irritation, headaches, even trauma, get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Attorney Robert Ozeron, at 310-999-9989, the Injured Worker Hotline, 310-999-9989.
8:39. Vandenberg Space Force Base will test to launch an unarmed nuclear missile this week. It's going to happen at midnight Wednesday morning in northern Santa Barbara County. If you're going to be in the area and awake, that's what time you want to be up. It might continue on or happen a little bit later after midnight, so you'll have to maybe tough it out, maybe to 5 a.m., because it could happen anytime between midnight and 5. You might be able to hear or catch a glimpse of the Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile. The test is to demonstrate the readiness and lethality of U.S. nuclear forces. We do a lot to try to fight natural disasters on Earth, but as Megan Goldsby reports, scientists at a nonprofit say we're not protecting ourselves enough from disasters coming from space. When it was discovered late last year, astronomers said the asteroid YR4 has a small chance of hitting Earth in less than a decade with the power of hundreds of atomic bombs.
YR4 is no longer a risk for hitting our home planet, but it currently has a 4% chance of hitting the moon.
And it is a good example of why their mission is important, says Danica Remy, president of the B612 Foundation in Mill Valley, home of the Asteroid Institute, a nonprofit that focuses on identifying these NEOs, or near-Earth objects.
Really, the most important thing is that we need to accelerate the rate of asteroid discovery, and that's why we started Asteroid Day with a call to action to accelerate asteroid discovery by 100x.
She co-founded that day, June 30th, with a group that includes the lead guitarist from Queen, astrophysicist Dr. Brian May.
The new telescope's going online this year called the Rubin Observatory, and it is going to find thousands of new near-Earth asteroids.
But she says there are still millions more that remain undetected. I'm Megan Goldsby, KNX News 97.1 FM. Something interesting is happening when it comes to the price of electric vehicles.
EV prices are now close to the price of an internal combustion vehicle, says Jason Power, but that may not last because of possible tariffs and the possible end of EV incentives. At our recent business breakfast, dealer Todd Zott said EV buyers have become very price conscious.
They'll move at the right payment, but it's really driven more so in our showrooms at least by the payment.
Thus, since Mustang Mach-E sales have been strong because of good lease deals, Ford, however, does plan to increase Mach-E prices this summer. I'm Jeff Gilbert, KNX News 97.1 FM.
842.
Protect your whole business with a professionally installed and monitored security system from the Monitoring Center. Sign up now and get 6 months free. High-quality, low-cost protection starts at just 33 cents a day. Call the Monitoring Center now. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. I've been seeing the new guy at the office with the sharpest suits. The guy looks like $1 million. One day he's in a suit that looks like Xenia. The next day he's wearing what looks exactly like an Armani. I was thinking he must be a big-time CEO or high-level executive. Well, come to find out, he's just a junior-level sales guy. So I asked him, how do you afford those great designer suits? He told me about a place downtown in the fashion district where they sell suits and sport coats that have the same look like Xenia, Canali, Armani, and other expensive makers at a fraction of the cost. It's called Roger Stewart Clothes at 729 South Los Angeles Street. Since then, I've been going to Roger Stewart too, saving big money and going to work looking like $1 million myself.
This is Roger, president of Roger Stewart Clothes. Don't be foolish with your money. Give us a call and let us put you in great quality suits for hundreds less than department or chain stores. Call 213-627-9661. You'll look like $1 million for a lot less. Roger Stewart Clothes. Suits that should be expensive, but they're not.
The four-time Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. June 19th, y'all, this year. Mile 11. I go out of this large fan. Tickets on sale now. YamahaTheaters.com or the casino box office. An unforgettable night with Mile 11 and his large band. Live. Do you know what 3 words are some of the hardest to say out loud? I need help. And if you've been injured in an accident, assault, slip and fall, or any negligence injury, it can be a nightmare finding the injury help you need. Until now, Downtown LA Law Group, California's top injury law firm, makes it easy to find the injury help you need. Just text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Or type call downtown into your search bar.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antique. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA, thanks Leo.
Good morning, I'm Elsa Ramon. Coming up, there are privacy concerns over the Sheriff's Department's use of drones in emergencies. And there's big MLB news as Pete Rose has been reinstated. Those stories coming up in the next 15 minutes. Right now, though, 8:45. We're going to take a look at traffic. Traffic brought to you by the Irvine Auto Center. Here's Sabina Mora.
And start on the 5 freeway, Elsa. Our state alert is clear as we send Valley. This is the closure with the Tuckersburg on-ramp to the 5 southbound, and a couple of right lanes blocked off the 5 freeway just past Lankershim. But all lanes are now open, and traffic is moving smoothly if you're trying to head south from the 170 all the way through Burbank and over to the 134. And we have a Long Beach closure. This is with the Long Beach Pride Parade that's going on today. It starts at 10 a.m., but closures in place already on Ocean Boulevard between Alameda Shoreline Drive and Redondo. Portions of Broadway look like they're affected as well. Taking 7th Street as an alternate is a good idea. PCH is wide open, looking good over to the traffic circle as well. Now, Venice Boulevard, right off the 405 freeway, and this is west of the freeway, heading towards the beach. There will be portions closed with this Venice Beach Half Marathon going on today as well, including portions of Pacific Rose, Abercrombie, also affected. So using Washington International instead of Venice Boulevard is your better bet. Just kind of know that those surface streets will be affected with this event. Out of Orange County on the 91, eastbound traffic looking better to Euclid. That was the car's second lanes. Up ahead, I do see some slowing from the 55 to Lakeview, and that's due to Caltrans work. 55 North Connector Road also a bit sluggish approaching the 91. Looking for great Memorial Day savings right now. The Irvine Auto Center is the place to be while you're shopping. From over 3,000 vehicles go around and grab a complimentary bite to eat at a variety of food trucks. That's Saturday the 24th. This Memorial Day, turn your search into drive at the Irvine Auto Center. See you there. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Look for more sunshine today. Temperatures up a few degrees from what was felt yesterday. High 60s at the coastline, low 70s, LA and Orange County. High 70s in the valleys and 60s up in the mountains. The big story will be the heat this week as temperatures build through midweek. By Wednesday, we're talking low 90s across Los Angeles and Orange County and feeling triple-digit heat in the valleys. That's next for the forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Alex Vincent for KNX News 97.1 FM.
West Hollywood's new drone program is now on hold. The Sheriff's Department says they wanted to use a drone as a first responder to improve response times in emergencies. The program is running into some privacy concerns. It would be launched from a building when needed, on top of building, from on top of a building when it's needed. West Hollywood Community Safety Director Danny Rivas says they had a launch time for the new program.
That was slated to more or less be an operation we were shooting for Pride weekend or just before Pride. That does not look like it is going to be the case.
Rivas does say the drone conversation will continue at the council meeting on June 9th. Could Billy and Tina, the LA Zoo's last remaining elephants, be moved to Tulsa without permission from the LA City Council? Activists who want them relocated to a massive sanctuary are worried that'll happen after a judge denies their request for a restraining order against the director of the LA Zoo. The judge told them that Billy and Tina's fate is a financial decision that is up to the LA City Council.
The judge also says that, hey, if there's a cost involved, and I've been told it's $80,000 to move both elephants, Billy and Tina, that's an appropriation that needs to come from council and get council approval, and that he said that it's up to council to approve that and allow the transfer or to stop it.
Correct, but there's already a contract now, so that's what the zoo is saying. They're saying there's a contract and they can do whatever they want. They're just taking these sentient beings and they're not even thinking about the actual elephants. They're only thinking about, just like what the judge said, people. People have rights. They're only thinking about what is right for what they feel.
Councilman Bob Blumenfield tells us he is backing a motion that would require the zoo's director to come to council and get permission before moving Billy or Tina.
I'm not trying to substitute my judgment or the council's judgment for the judgment of the zoo director, but as a fiduciary and someone who's responsible for the governance of the city, I want to have proper oversight. I think when the costs and benefits are outlined, the answer may be very clear as well. Any department head should expect and should be willing to answer to the council and to provide their thinking on a major issue.
The zoo's director has refused to say if she has inked a deal to send Billy and Tina to Tulsa. A check of your money this morning at 8:50. Here's Bloomberg's Tracy Jonke.
Ride-hailing rivals Uber and Lyft have selected similar destinations in their latest roadmap to growth. Smaller U.S. cities that are viewed by the companies as underserved by public transit and therefore more dependent on cars.
It really is better to be in the back of the car, having someone else drive you, and we want to do it in places like Indianapolis and others where, the opportunity is even bigger.
David Risher is the CEO of Lyft, which has been in Indianapolis for years, but its efforts there last quarter produced a 37% year-over-year increase in rides. Lyft and Uber want to do that in more cities.
The rideshare market is still tiny, 160 billion rides in the United States.
Lyft and St. Louis.
Toads and bees to do their thing. Oh, and just in case, if your thing needs a little boost in the bedroom, we're here for you. For over 25 years, Boston Medical Group has delivered a safe and effective solution for ED, proven to work when all else has failed. It's called ICP, also known as ED shots or Trimix. ICP uses a custom blend of FDA-approved medications specifically formulated for your condition to help restore healthy blood flow where you need it most. In fact, ICP works for 90% of men. You will be ready in just a few minutes, regardless of age or medical conditions. So, if ED pills have failed you, our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution right to your doorstep. Call today, and you'll receive 10 extra doses of ICP medication for free when you sign up for the standard program. Call 800-896-3100. That's 800-896-3100 or visit bostonmedicalgroup.com.
Success is picking up extra shifts for your family. Now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to take the next step. Success looks different to everyone, and University of Maryland Global Campus can help you reach your goals. And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. Apply now and save with no application fee. At an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services, achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
8:54 now. Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson have been reinstated by Major League Baseball, making both of them eligible for the Hall of Fame after careers tarnished by sports gambling scandals.
Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred said Rose and Jackson were among 16 players and one former owner removed from the list of those ineligible for the Hall. In a statement, Manfred wrote, "Obviously, a person no longer with us cannot represent a threat to the integrity of the game. The earliest the now eligible players can be considered is December 2027.
That's CBS's Jim Axelrod. We asked LA Times baseball writer Bill Shaken if he thinks the pair will now be elected to the Hall of Fame.
You know, it's hard to say because the voting body for people whose playing career is so far back as Pete Rose and even farther back for shoeless Joe Jackson is a committee of people appointed by the Hall of Fame. So the usual Hall of Fame voting for players whose careers ended recently is baseball writers. On these committees, it's some writers, but it's also baseball executives, it's Hall of Famers themselves, it's whoever is appointed by the Hall of Fame. So will that body take a harder line against Pete Rose than baseball writers might have? It's possible. We'll have to see.
Shaken also says fans will wonder why Barry Bonds still hasn't been voted into the Hall of Fame over his links to a steroid scandal, while Jackson and Rose are now eligible to get in. 8:55, let's get you over to Sabina for traffic.
Going to start with the 110. All right, northbound at Avenue 43. This is a newer crash, a car that somehow lost control and hit the center divider wall and was stuck in lanes. Now, we're being told at this point the off-ramp at Avenue 43 is blocked, but the lane should be open. But I do see a backup. Definitely slow if you're headed northbound trying to leave the 5 to get into Montecito Heights. And again, the Avenue 43 off-ramp is blocked. Getting past that, better through Highland Park, South Pasadena, I don't see any additional closures. Now, on the eastbound side of the 10, that was a bit heavy leaving Mid-City to the 110. At the moment, much better Vermont over to the 110 connector. I don't have any downtown closures westbound, and that fire that was visible from the freeway on the westbound 10 just past Washington has been cleared up, so traffic is flowing at better speeds. Venice Beach, half marathon going on, east and westbound Venice Boulevard, west of the 405 over to Lincoln, heading towards the coast. Just know several portions of Pacific Road and Abbot Kinney will also be affected today, so you want to avoid the area if you don't belong there because of those closures and detours. You can use Washington or National instead. SoCal's only reliable traffic